Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope everybody out there is doing well. Today we're going to talk about the USCCA and is it actually worth it? Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the USCCA because I made a video just a few days ago where I was promoting USCCA and I said that I had been a member for about 4 years, and it was just a little short snip that I put at the beginning of the video, you know, a little promo piece, and I was surprised at the amount of questions that I got from that from my own personal website. So if you go over to my website and you scroll down to the bottom, there's a little contact me form, and it allows you to fill out an email, and you can email me a question, and in probably a 4-hour time span, I got 20 emails from people asking me, is it worth it? Do you need a concealed carry permit? I mean, there was actually a lot of questions. I did not expect that, especially from this short little clip, but I got a lot of questions, and so I want to try and answer those questions for you guys today. USCCA is not paying me to say these things. They're not paying me to make this video. I'm making this video because after answering about 6 or 7 emails, I just wrote people back and said, hey, I'll make a video to answer your question. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making a video today to answer a bunch of the questions that I got. And if you're out there and you're thinking about USCCA, you know, if you're somebody who believes in defending yourself with a firearm, then this would be something that would be important to you too, because I'm going to talk to you about my membership and, you know, what you get and if it's actually worth it to become a member and join. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Okay, so let me go ahead and answer some of those email questions real quick, and then we'll get into some of my backstory and why I signed up for USCCA and if I actually think that it's worth it. So here's the thing. When it comes to some of the questions that I got, no, you don't need a CCW to join the USCCA. Let's say, for instance, you're in your house and somebody breaks in 2 o'clock in the morning, you have to use your firearm in a defensive situation. The USCCA is going to cover you just like they would cover somebody with a CCW out on the street. Whether the situation happens in your home or if it happens while you're out, it doesn't really matter. So you don't need to have a CCW in order to be a member, which I thought was pretty cool because it gives you that confidence. If you're the type of person like me who sleeps with something by the nightstand, this is just that added protection where you're sleeping with something by the nightstand, you're able to take care of whatever situation might arise, but at the same time, you're going to have to call 911 after it happens, right? And then you're going to have to prove that you were innocent in that time frame. You might still end up in jail. You might still have to pay your own bail. You might still have to pay for a lawyer and stuff in order to prove your innocence after that. I don't want to have to deal with any of that stuff. So it's definitely like good peace of mind regardless if you have a concealed carry permit or not. So look, I don't mind making a fool out of myself. I don't mind making an idiot out of myself. I do it all the time on purpose in public anyway. And you definitely have to have thick skin here on YouTube because just about everybody talks crap about everything that you do. They'll find a reason to say something negative about it, which is fine, but you have to have thick skin. So I'm not afraid to say that I was nervous the first time I carried. I was really nervous. But for me, the first time that I carried ever was in large crowds in Las Vegas. It wasn't like I just carried and decided to go to the gas station and come home, you know, and stuff like that. Like I was in Las Vegas with thousands of other people, and trust me, that was on my mind a lot. I was thinking about the fact that I was carrying pretty much nonstop, and even though my nerves calmed down by the end of the night, I was still kind of terrified in the very beginning. And so I wanted some peace of mind. So I go online to look for insurance, right? USCCA is not insurance. That's another question that I got. I don't know if I want to sign up for insurance. USCCA is a membership. They're not insurance, which means they can actually do things that insurance cannot do. By law, legally, insurance cannot do those things. So USCCA is a membership, kind of like a club, and they can do things that insurance can't. Because I went home, I started looking for insurance, and I was surprised to find out that they do not pretty much cover anything up front. So you're going to have to bail yourself out. You're going to have to, retain an attorney. You're going to have to do all of these things on your own. And then afterwards, once you're found innocent, then they'll reimburse you. And I just didn't like that at all. I mean, who knows if I'm even going to have that much money to be able to cover something like that. I got a family of 5, 3 little kids, no support system around me, even in the same state. So we're on our own. And if I lose my job or anything over that, my family's going to be homeless. That's just the way that it is. So I have to be very careful. So I didn't like those insurances. I go over to USCCA because even back then, pretty much everybody was talking about them. And so I go over there and I find out that not only do you not have to worry about paying anything up front, but if you have a defensive situation and you have, let's say, your wife call 911 and you call USCCA, they will immediately send out a top-of-the-line Second Amendment attorney that is specifically set up to deal with cases like yours. So they're going to send out an attorney, no fees out of your pocket. They will pay to bail you out of jail. So when that gets set up, they're going to bail you out. They're going to pay for that. You don't have to worry about any financial burden whatsoever. I'm like, wow, this is perfect. So I don't have to worry about getting an attorney, finding an attorney that deals with that type of thing, calling them or anything. They call them for you. They send them out to your location. They deal with that. And then they also take care of your bail. But then they take care of you all the way through the process. So if for some reason it does happen to go to trial, they're going to take care of you through trial. Excellent. Okay, that's what I needed. So I signed up for their platinum at the time. So I'm still platinum, but I've been platinum this whole time. Signed up for their platinum, which gives me like $1 million in coverage or something. So it's a pretty good amount of coverage that I would get through that plan. And then I found out as I was reading more that it also covers you for post litigation stuff. So for instance, if you're involved in a self-defense situation where let's say that you have to take somebody out, okay, who is threatening your life, okay, so you deal with that situation, you're found innocent in court, their family can still come after you afterwards, even though you've been found innocent, for civil liabilities. They could take away your house, they could take away your paychecks, they could take away pretty much everything from you, even though you were found innocent. And if you don't believe me, think about OJ, okay? For instance, OJ was found innocent. Believe him or not, whatever, that's up to you, okay? But he was found innocent by the court. He was still sued by the Browns, and they won their case. So there was a civil suit that came after the incident. Even though he's found guilty, the civil suit came afterwards, and he lost just about everything, right? They protect you in those cases too. So if, for instance, it's over, you're found innocent, woo, life can go back to normal, and then all of a sudden the civil suit comes up afterwards, they cover you. I didn't find anybody that does that. So they're going to cover you from basically the moment that it happens to the moment that it ends. Now, I have I have 4 different CCWs, okay? I have one in-state CCW, and then I have several out-of-state non-resident CCWs, so that it covers a majority of the country. Like I can't carry in California, Oregon, Colorado, New York, places like that, but a majority of the rest of the country I can carry in. And, you know, it's just nice to know that no matter where I go, I'm set. Now, another couple things I really like about USCCA is, one, they have this really nice app, okay? The app allows you access to their magazine. They have an online magazine. They have a magazine that they print out and they send to you. But they also have my favorite tool on there, which is a reciprocity map. And it's a really good reciprocity map because you can add multiple CCWs. So you can add your in-state, you can add your non-res permits, all that stuff. And then it compiles all that and it gives you your reciprocity map. You know, green states are good to travel, red states are not permitted and stuff like that. And then it also has an alarm. The nice thing about the alarm is I'm very forgetful. So if I'm going to be traveling somewhere and let's say I have, you know, some stuff in the car, maybe I'm still carrying, and I enter a state that does not have reciprocity with my permits, it will actually send you a notification on your device to let you know, hey, you've entered a state that does not have reciprocity. And so with that notification, you can go ahead and take action at that point. So you're not driving through the entire state, you get pulled over, and now you're in jail for that. So that was a pretty cool thing too. I've had to use our customer service before. I've had questions regarding stuff like brandishing. I was wondering if brandishing was covered, because if you look at a lot of situations where people have to use their firearm in a defensive situation, there's not actually a round that was actually fired. They may just, the mere appearance, okay, or the presentation of something could be enough to stop somebody who is maybe coming at you with a knife or something like that, meaning to do you harm. You know, once they notice that you're not somebody who is, you know, totally unarmed and somebody who is not able to defend themselves, that might be a deterrent for them. And so you never had to use it. But imagine that you pull it out because the guy's running at you with the knife, you pull it out, and then all of a sudden he takes off because he sees that, you know, you're a step up above him, right? He takes off. Now he calls the police saying, hey, there's a guy in a parking structure over there that just pointed a gun at me. Well, now the police are going to be called. They're going to have your description. He's going to give it to him. And now you're going to have to defend yourself. So, you know, if you don't actually use it, is brandishing something that's covered? And I found out that, yes, it is actually covered. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. I recently took another CCW class where they had a USCCA guy come in, and he talked to us, and he gave us a story about a guy who was in a barber shop. Dude comes in with a shotgun, points it at his son's head. He has to engage the guy, takes the guy out, and now somebody has to call 911. He calls USCCA because he's a member. USCCA calls a Second Amendment attorney. That attorney actually showed up before the police. That's how fast the USCCA was on it. That attorney shows up before the police and is able to represent the guy before the police get there. So as they're coming up, he's speaking on behalf of his client. And so you didn't have to say anything. The thing is, if something happens, keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Wait for your attorney to talk for you. Your attorney can explain everything in a way that is not going to get you in trouble, where you're probably going to put your foot in your mouth or step on something, because the police listen to absolutely everything that you say. So you just keep your mouth shut. Say, I'd like to talk to my attorney, and they'll get your attorney out there. But the attorney actually showed up before the cops, and I thought that was a pretty cool story. So yeah, I mean, to answer your questions, it's not insurance. You don't need a CCW. Yes, it's 100% worth it, and I recommend it. Like I mentioned before, there is a link down below to USCCA. There's also a link to my website if you guys want to contact me. Just try and keep in mind that I am just one guy. I don't have a big team. I don't have somebody who answers my emails for me. So I have messages here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I mean, you name it, on my website, and I deal with thousands of messages, and I spend hours every single night trying to catch up. Sometimes they slip through the cracks, and I really apologize to those people where they slip through the cracks. But I do my best to try and dedicate at least a few hours every single night just to emailing people back and messaging people back. So I just want to let you know that that contact me form is there on the website. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.